Vanishing Hitchhiker of Clinton Road. As twilight descends upon the winding asphalt of Clinton Road, a thick fog begins to settle over the dense forest that flanks both sides of this infamous stretch of pavement. The air grows heavy with an unsettling stillness, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant cry of an unseen creature. It's in this eerie atmosphere that drivers find themselves gripping their steering wheels a little tighter, their eyes darting nervously between the road ahead and the shadows that seem to dance at the edges of their headlights. For those who know the legends of Clinton Road, every curve brings with it the possibility of an encounter with the unexplained, and none more chilling than the tale of the Vanishing Hitchhiker. Clinton Road, stretching for 10 miles through West Milford, New Jersey, has long been a source of fascination and fear for locals and thrill-seekers alike. Its reputation as one of America's most haunted roads is built upon a foundation of tragic history, unexplained phenomena, and persistent urban legends that have been passed down through generations. The road's sinister history dates back to the 1900s, when it was a remote and rarely traveled route through the wilderness. Over the years, it has been the site of numerous accidents, alleged cult activities, and even rumored mafia body dumps. The isolation of Clinton Road, combined with its dark past, has created the perfect breeding ground for supernatural stories and unexplained occurrences. Among the many legends associated with this notorious stretch of road, the tale of the Vanishing Hitchhiker stands out as one of the most enduring and chilling. This urban legend has captivated the imaginations of countless individuals, drawing them to Clinton Road in search of a ghostly encounter that defies explanation. Our tale begins on a crisp autumn evening, as Mark, a skeptical college student, found himself driving along Clinton Road. He had heard the stories, of course. Who hadn't in this part of New Jersey? But Mark prided himself on his rational mind and dismissed the legends as nothing more than campfire tales meant to scare children and tourists. As he navigated the twisting road, the forest seemed to close in around him, creating a tunnel of darkness broken only by his headlights. The radio crackled with static, forcing Mark to turn it off, leaving him in an unsettling silence. He checked his rearview mirror, half expecting to see something lurking in the back seat, but there was nothing but empty darkness. It was then that he saw her. A figure emerged from the mist at the side of the road. A young woman, no more than 20, with long dark hair and a white dress that seemed to glow in the moonlight. She stood with her thumb outstretched, the universal sign of a hitchhiker seeking a ride. Mark's first instinct was to keep driving. After all, picking up strangers on a deserted road in the middle of the night was hardly a safe practice. But something about the woman's expression, a mixture of desperation and innocence, made him reconsider. Against his better judgment, he slowed the car to a stop. As he rolled down the window, a rush of cold air filled the vehicle. "Are you okay?" Mark asked, his voice betraying a hint of nervousness. The woman smiled softly. "Thank you for stopping," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I need to get home. It's not far from here." Mark hesitated for a moment before unlocking the passenger door. "Hop in," he said, trying to sound casual despite the growing unease in the pit of his stomach. As the woman settled into the seat beside him, Mark couldn't help but notice how pale she was, her skin almost translucent in the dim light of the car's interior. He also realized that despite the chilly night air, she wasn't shivering at all. "So, where exactly am I taking you?" Mark asked as he pulled back onto the road. The woman pointed ahead. "Just keep driving. I'll let you know when we're close." They drove in silence for several minutes, the only sound the hum of the engine and the crunch of tires on the asphalt. Mark tried to focus on the road, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about his passenger. He glanced over at her, only to find her staring straight ahead, her expression unreadable. Suddenly, the woman spoke. "It happened right here," she said, her voice taking on a distant quality. "What happened?" Mark asked, slowing the car slightly. "The accident," she replied. "It was a night just like this one. I was on my way home from a party. I never saw the other car coming." A chill ran down Mark's spine as the implications of her words sank in. He turned to look at her, but the passenger seat was empty. The woman had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a lingering chill in the air. Mark slammed on the brakes, his heart pounding in his chest. He looked wildly around, searching for any sign of the woman, but there was nothing but the empty road and the looming trees. As he sat there, trying to make sense of what had just happened, he noticed something in his rearview mirror, a set of headlights approaching rapidly from behind. In a panic, Mark accelerated, his tires squealing as he sped down Clinton Road. The headlights behind him grew closer, and he could have sworn he heard the blare of a horn. Just as he was certain the other vehicle was about to collide with him, the lights disappeared, leaving Mark alone on the dark road once more. Shaken to his core, Mark didn't stop driving until he reached the end of Clinton Road. As he merged onto a more populated highway, he tried to rationalize what had happened. Maybe he had dozed off for a moment and dreamed the whole thing. Or perhaps it was just his imagination playing tricks on him, fueled by the spooky stories he'd heard about the road. But deep down, Mark knew that what he had experienced was all too real. He had encountered the vanishing hitchhiker of Clinton Road, and his skepticism about the supernatural had vanished along with her. In the days and weeks that followed, Mark couldn't shake the memory of that night. He researched the history of Clinton Road and discovered that there had indeed been a fatal car accident involving a young woman in the 1970s. The details matched eerily with the story his spectral passenger had begun to tell. Mark's experience is just one of many reported encounters with the vanishing hitchhiker on Clinton Road. Some drivers describe picking up a young woman in a white dress, only to have her disappear from their car moments later. Others report seeing a figure standing at the side of the road, vanishing as they approach. Some versions of the legend claim that the hitchhiker is the ghost of a young bride-to-be who died in a car crash on her way to her wedding. Others say she's the spirit of a teenager killed by a drunk driver. Regardless of the specific details, the core of the story remains the same. A ghostly figure seeking a ride home, only to vanish before reaching her destination. What makes the legend of the vanishing hitchhiker particularly intriguing is its prevalence not just on Clinton Road, but in various forms across different cultures and regions. Similar stories can be found in folklore from around the world, suggesting that this particular type of ghost story taps into a universal fear or fascination with the idea of spirits trapped between worlds. On Clinton Road, the legend of the vanishing hitchhiker is just one thread in a tapestry of supernatural tales. The road is also said to be home to other ghostly phenomena, including phantom vehicles, strange creatures, and unexplained lights. Some locals claim that the area's history of alleged occult activity has left a lasting imprint on the land, creating a hotspot for paranormal encounters. One particularly chilling aspect of the vanishing hitchhiker legend is the idea that those who encounter her may be marked for tragedy themselves. Some versions of the story suggest that drivers who pick up the ghostly hitchhiker are fated to experience their own car accidents on Clinton Road, perpetuating a cycle of death and haunting. This element of the legend taps into a deeper fear, the idea that by interacting with the supernatural, we may inadvertently invite it into our own lives. It's a concept that has fueled countless horror stories and urban legends, and it adds an extra layer of dread to the tale of the vanishing hitchhiker. For those brave or foolish enough to seek out the vanishing hitchhiker, Clinton Road offers no guarantees. Some visitors report spending hours driving up and down the road without encountering anything out of the ordinary. Others claim to have experienced inexplicable events that defy rational explanation. Local authorities and skeptics are quick to point out that many of the strange occurrences reported on Clinton Road can be attributed to natural phenomena, overactive imaginations, or deliberate hoaxes. The road's reputation as a haunted location has certainly led to its fair share of pranksters and thrill seekers looking to scare unsuspecting drivers. However, for those who have had personal encounters with the unexplained on Clinton Road, no amount of skepticism can shake their belief in what they experience. The legend of the vanishing hitchhiker continues to persist, drawing new generations of curiosity seekers to this lonely stretch of asphalt in search of a brush with the supernatural. The enduring nature of this urban legend speaks to our collective fascination with the unknown and the possibility of life after death. The idea that a spirit could be trapped in a cycle of reliving their final moments, seeking help from the living, touches on deep-seated human fears and desires. We are simultaneously terrified by the prospect of encountering a ghost and intrigued by the possibility of glimpsing the world beyond our own. For Mark and others like him, who claim to have encountered the vanishing hitchhiker, The experience serves as a stark reminder that there may be more to our world than what can be explained by science and reason. These encounters challenge our understanding of reality and force us to confront the possibility that some questions may never have satisfactory answers. As the legend of the Vanishing Hitchhiker continues to evolve and spread, it becomes more than just a ghost story. It becomes a part of the cultural fabric of Clinton Road and the surrounding area, shaping the way people perceive and interact with this seemingly ordinary stretch of pavement. For some, it's a source of fear to be avoided at all costs. For others, it's a thrilling mystery to be explored and potentially solved. The power of this urban legend lies not just in its ability to frighten, but in its capacity to make us question our assumptions about the nature of reality. It challenges us to consider the possibility that there may be forces at work in our world that we don't fully understand, forces that occasionally make themselves known in the most unexpected and chilling ways. As we reach the end of our journey down Clinton Road and through the legend of the Vanishing Hitchhiker, we're left with more questions than answers. Is there truly a spectral presence haunting this lonely stretch of road, doomed to relive her tragic end for eternity? Or is the legend simply a product of our collective imagination, fueled by the road's dark history and isolated nature? Perhaps the most chilling question of all is this. If you found yourself driving down Clinton Road late one night and saw a figure standing at the side of the road, thumb outstretched, would you stop? The legend of the Vanishing Hitchhiker of Clinton Road serves as a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying stories are those that blur the line between reality and the supernatural, leaving us to wonder what might be lurking just beyond the reach of our headlights. If you enjoyed this chilling tale of the Vanishing Hitchhiker and want to dive deeper into the world of lesser-known urban legends, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you spine-tingling stories from the shadows of folklore and urban mythology. Don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your own experiences with urban legends or suggesting topics for future videos. And remember, the next time you're driving down a dark, lonely road, you might want to think twice before picking up any hitchhikers.